welcome to another episode of the NRW Checkpoint. I am one of your hosts, WebsterStyle, and I'm joined by, as always,
Brian Sapph. Thank you all for tuning in once again.
Yep. Now, Brian, we said when we got to February, it was going to start to get heavy. Now, this week is a little light compared to what it's going to look like for the rest of the month. Woo! But we got some heavy hitters, and it's the list. These lists are only going to get longer as the weeks go on. And first up this week is a new release, all platforms, and this is OlliOlli World, and this is a kind of 3D cartoony-ish skateboarding adventure game. When I was looking, it looked interesting. Apparently, there was it's a sequel to a game that came out a while ago called OlliOlli, if I remember correctly. It kind of reminds me of, you remember the old game Trials? The BMX. Yeah, it's like a BMX stunt game that was out on the previous generation systems. Some of the trick worlds kind of reminds me of that, at least when I watch some of the videos and the trailers for that. And I believe we're looking at a trailer later on today, so we get further in impressions. So I'll leave it at that. Brian, you want to take the next one? I think this is very much in your wheelhouse.
What we have for the next one? Let me see. I have the list. The next one. What we have for the next one?
Sifu.
Oh, Sifu. I've been hearing a lot about this game. I didn't really get time to like check it out. I know it's like a single player, like kind of action game. I can't really tell you much about it though. I haven't watched the trailer or anything.
We'll be watching that trailer later. So
yeah,
Sifu is a.
I hear people excited to play it or whatever. So we'll see.
Right. And that's a single player action game, beat 'em up-ish. There's a lot of nuanced mechanics, and that's only out for the PlayStation consoles and PC.
Right.
Next up, we have Action Arcade Wrestling. In this case, it's for the Switch, but it was released for the other home consoles last year sometime. Mm-hmm. And this is a cel-shaded arcade wrestling game. It looks okay, looking at the trailers for it. If you're looking for an arcade wrestling game, I say get Retromania Wrestling. That has like real wrestlers in it. So if you're looking for something like that, I'll say go for that. Probably skip this one, but it looks cool enough. But wrestling games, there are a lot of options out there.
Yeah.
The next one
for the. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just saying it's more, introductory style, just something to play on the go for the Switch.
Yeah. It's it looks okay. That's the best way I can say about it. But that's coming out for the Switch. Like I said, it's on the other home consoles already. And this one, Backbone, is coming out for the Switch, but it came out for the other systems last year. I believe it's on PlayStation as well. I know it's on Xbox. It's on Game Pass. I'm actually going to be playing it this week, so I'm gonna check it out personally. And this is a post-noir action and adventure game in this sort of animal anthropologic world, anthropomorphologic world. That's it is. Where animal logs the humans, and I believe you're playing a private detective trying to solve this case. So it looks very interesting. I saw trailers for it a while ago, but with it coming out this week on the Switch, I was like, let me download it and play it to really get an impression of it. So I'll be talking about that this week on my show. But if you haven't played it on any other systems and you have the Switch, this is a perfect game to play on the Switch based on everything I've seen thus far.
Cool.
So, and then next up is probably the biggest, or if not one of the biggest FPSs in the world, and that's Crossfire X. And that is coming out in the States exclusively on the Xbox, and it's dropping day one in Game Pass. And it's kind of weird how they're doing it too. They have the multiplayer campaign, which everybody plays, but they also have Remedy, who created Alan Wake, did Control, did the original Max Payne games, to do the campaign. But the weird thing is they're splitting up as two different campaigns.
Okay.
One is on Game Pass. The other one you have to buy. So it's like a DLC campaign, which is really kind of weird the way they're doing it. But hey, they gotta make that coin somehow. And you know, even though Microsoft is writing their check, they still want more. Which you know, I don't blame them.
Yeah.
But it looks cool, and we're watching the trailer for that later as well. But you know, it's a first person shooter.
Right.
You know, realistically,
we know
what can you say about that? Yeah, you know what you're getting with that.
You said didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead, man.
Who made that Crossfire game?
I forget the multiplayer. Smilebit is the who made the multiplayer, but the campaign's being done by Remedy, who did Alan Wake, who did Control, who did the first two, if not all three, Max Payne games. That developed all of those. So
that'll be good then, because I like Max Payne. That's it's one of those franchises that are like not necessarily underrated, but a cult favorite, I guess I'll say.
Right.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it looks cool. You know, it's a lot of FPSs on the Xbox and in Game Pass. So, you know, if you're an FPS fan, you have your pick of the litter when it comes to that.
Good.
Next up, we have Edge of Eternity, and this is a tactical JRPG. Is dropping for the PlayStation consoles and the Xbox consoles this week, and then is dropping for the Switch in 2 weeks. So we'll be seeing that again in 2 weeks. But this is another game that's dropping day one into Game Pass as well. It looks pretty cool though. I was looking at the battle system in the trailer for it, and we actually watched it a little bit later. But it looks like a very unique battle system. I'm not too much into tactical JRPGs like Final Fantasy Tactics or anything, but it looks like a pretty unique battle system, kind of emerging of the turn-based and the tactical. So it may be something I might step into. One of my favorite RPGs of all time is Grandia 2, and that wasn't necessarily tactical, but they added a little nuance to the turn-based combat, which added a little bit of tactics to it. Not so much as full-on tactics like Edge of Eternity and Final Fantasy Tactics, but it had a little bit of that there. So I'm interested to see how this plays out.
Yeah, I like tactical JRPGs. I don't know. We got the trailer for that one, right?
Yes, we are watching the trailer for that.
Okay, so yeah, because if it's anything like what is it? Fire Emblem, then I might be checking that out. That's what it sounds like.
Right. Next up on our list for this week is Cardboard Kings, and that's coming out for PC only. And this is literally a game shop simulator. So if you've ever wanted to own your own game shop, this is the game for you. It's weird because I'm not trying to knock it. It's just like, that's an interesting simulator. It seems very nuanced to me.
Right.
Not saying it can't be fun. It just seems nuanced.
Yeah. I don't know. You said, what is it, for PC only?
Yeah, PC only.
That sounds like something that'll be more for mobile, but cool.
Yeah.
Are we trailering that one? Let me see.
No, we're not trailering that one.
Okay. I'll look at that on my own time then, because I don't know, those kind of games where you kind of get to like be in control of your own shop and have a simulation of what you would normally do in the real world, like get things going. I tend to enjoy those. Just something to pass the time away. But like I said, more for mobile. I don't know why it's on PC.
Yeah, it looks interesting, but again, it's very nuanced, very niche. So I'm sure there are a lot of people that I probably know of that'll be interested in this game, but it's just like, okay, I might,
yeah,
somebody will like it. Again, I'm not trying to knock it. It's just not my cup of tea. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it's not your style of game. That's cool.
Yeah. All right. Next up is something that really should get you excited. All of the Kingdom Hearts games are coming on to Switch, but if you see my notes here, Square Enix. What are you doing? Why in the world are these games cloud streaming only?
Because now, and this is where, because I had
there's no reason. There's no reason.
Yes and no, right? Because we're talking about, they said all of the Kingdom Hearts games.
Yes, but you can buy them as a bundle, but they're sold individually as well.
Right.
They make Nintendo Switch carts that can hold these games.
Yes. I don't know. I'm saying this speaking as somebody who played them on PlayStation. Like, they're incredibly like large and detailed games. It's one of those games where you start off in one area, and then once you open up the game or whatever, you could travel to different worlds and do different things in those games. So it might just be like a mechanical thing, but then at the same time, it'll probably put more pressure on the Switch to like stream it straight from the cloud. I don't know.
That's so lazy. See, Capcom did this, and they did it with Resident Evil 7. Okay. I understand why they did it with Resident Evil 7. That the Switch is not handling Resident Evil 7 at even native 720p with the sort of graphical output that you need for that. And also the space is not going to be able to be comprised in one of those game carts.
Right.
The first two Kingdom Hearts, there's no reason why they can't be physically on the Switch. The last one, if they didn't want to demake it, de-res it a little bit, I mean, we got the Witcher 3 on Switch on a cart. Right. There is no reason the Square Enix couldn't have put in some time and effort to put these games on a little Nintendo Switch cart and sold it to people. And it's not even digital, it's streaming.
This is, well, you put it like that, right? To me, just hearing you speak sound more like a cash grab kind of thing. Because these games have been out for years at this point. I believe the first Kingdom Hearts game came out in like 2005, 2000. Like, it's been
PlayStation 2, right?
Yeah, like it's been a while since the very first one came out. There was a huge gap in between Kingdom Hearts 2 and 3. They did a bunch of remasters where they actually took the core games from the actual franchise and then they paired them with the like 0.5. It's weird how they did it. It's like because they came out before the age of DLC, right?
Right.
So they would do Kingdom Hearts 1, and then they did Kingdom Hearts 2, and then they backtracked and like did Kingdom Hearts 1.5 and put that on like handhelds, PSP and whatever Game Boy was out at the time. And then they went and did the same thing for 2 to build up anticipation for 3. So I'm looking at it, and I'm like, okay, they know the fan base of Kingdom Hearts has already played this game. This is for people who want to get into the series, don't want to buy physical copies again, but also just to make some money and make sure the games are on the Switch, because the 0.5s, or at least the stories from the 0.5s, they have their own games on previous like Game Boy consoles. But I guess this will be their first foray into the actual like Switch and what it does as a console.
So I guess so, but like you said, it's a cash grab because we've talked about cloud gaming, and that's the only, like, you literally have to be connected to an internet. You can't just take your Switch and play on a subway and play Kingdom Hearts.
Right.
Yes, and and then I was looking this up, and something prompted me to look this up. They're still trying to sell these games, especially the HD remasters of 1 and 2, for full price 2 years later on the Xbox and the PlayStation.
Yeah.
I was like, are you serious?
I like I said, cash grabbing. They trying to get this money up because obviously, well, I guess we'll talk about it in the coming weeks when it's getting ready to release. They're adding another DLC to the Final Fantasy VII remake, and I think they're just trying to build up money to keep pumping those out. Final Fantasy 14 is still like heavily played. I'm pretty sure they need, a lot of server maintenance over there. I haven't played that game in a long time, but they cashing in on one of their big ones, because Kingdom Hearts is definitely a fan favorite. Like, it has the fan base. Like, we're calling for a Kingdom Hearts 4, even though they pretty much wrapped the story in Kingdom Hearts 3. Like, we're looking for them to figure out a way to branch that out and do it again, but I don't know. Yeah, the cloud gaming thing, that's gonna be frustrating because you can't once the internet is done, like you're stuck. And Kingdom Hearts is one
Right.
of those RPGs where it's like you have to
Right.
focus on it. It's not something that you could just like pick up and be like, okay, well, I'm gonna stop right here and move. Like if you there are things that if you miss in the game, it would completely like derail you from actually completing the game.
Exactly.
I don't
So
think
I'm gonna say this right now. If you are looking for all these people in internet land, if you want to play Kingdom Hearts on the Switch, pass. Look, you don't own anything. Something can happen. Look, I told you that was my interpretation about Stadia.
Yeah.
If something happens to those servers, you don't have internet, you don't own nothing. You're paying $40 a pop for each game to get access to play it. That's a steep price, in my opinion, for you not even own the data of the game on your device.
Right.
That's just me.
If they selling each game individually, this is my advice.
They have a bundle. They have a bundle for 90, if I remember correctly.
Okay, but if they're selling them individually, like if you missed any of the story or whatever, then just go for that story individually, complete it, and then let it be that. Like I wouldn't advise getting a bundle, is what I'm saying, because Kingdom Hearts 3 was probably the biggest one they put out. They actually added 2 extra DLCs for that, or was it 1? They had DLC for that game, so I don't think you should want to cloud stream that. I think you should definitely look for a physical copy, but they're not gonna have it. So those little games in between, Chain of Memories and shit like that, where they did the 1.5s and all that, because there's great games in between the actual core games, whatever, that continue the story, but more from a sideline perspective or a side quest perspective. I don't know. The other characters in the game that are not necessarily the focus of the main game, they get their own stories or whatever. And those are fun. They make sense to be on handheld, gaming platforms or whatever. But if you're trying to play those main ones, 1, 2, or 3, cloud is not the way to go.
Look, let me put it this way. If anybody out here wants to play Kingdom Hearts, all 3 games via the cloud, and you don't have Game Pass, sign up 3 months for free, get yourself an Xbox controller, slap it to your phone, and play it that way. And you spend $1.
That'll also work. I'm pretty sure they didn't even take into account for that neither. You giving people cheat codes.
Hey, I'm just saying, look, if not, it's $14.99 a month. I mean,
get the game on your console, like on your big boy console. The Switch.
That's if you don't have it. See, my only thing is, if you don't have one of those and you really want to play it, signing up for Game Pass and doing cloud and getting a controller is cheaper than buying games that you're going to stream on your Switch that you don't own.
And I agree with that. And
that's all I'm saying.
To add on to that, the Kingdom Hearts game is not necessarily the best to be experienced on the Switch. Just from a controller standpoint, there are a lot of things that you have to do on that controller in order to get the characters to do stuff, like casting magic spells or getting Goofy and Donald or whoever you decide to partner with through your journey to actually go and do shit for you. Like, I don't know if the Switch controllers can even handle that kind of like gameplay, especially for 1, 2, and 3. Now, if you're talking about, like I said, Chain of Memories, 365 over 2 days or whatever the title is, like maybe, but let's not just do what Webster said. Get you a phone controller. At least you know your phone internet ain't gonna shut off in the middle of playing.
Exactly. And Xbox cloud saves, so you're good to go. So let's move on to, we got two more on this list. The next one is No by Heart, and that's on PC only. And that's a very good looking adventure game. We don't have a trailer for that, but I was looking that up. It looks pretty cool. But I would say nothing that wows me, but it looks like a good game. And the last one we had is Lost Ark, which is I believe it's out of Korea. I'm not entirely sure, but it's an MMO, and it looks like all of those other MMOs, that sort of fantasy, sort of stylized anime MMO. I forget that big one that's out that people play. But Yeah, it looks like everything else is out there. Not saying it's not good. It just looking at the trailers is like, first of all, those aren't my type of game. So excuse me if I offend anybody, but it looks like it's supposed to be an MMO. It doesn't look like anything.
You know what? Is that coming for PC?
Yes, that's for PC.
Okay, yeah. I seen a trailer for that on Instagram the other day, and I was like, I will buy this game, but I don't.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, it looks good. But yeah, definitely it's one of those, you pick a class and you level your characters up and you run around and do dungeon crawls and all kind of shit.
Exactly. So let's get into trailers. This is the one I've watched a couple things on this game, and it looks very interesting and unique. But the first trailer we have up is Sifu.
Okay. I've been hearing a lot about this game. I've just been caught up in everything else that I play and just like have not taken the time, but I'm interested.
Kung Fu or Gong Fu means mastery through practice. But is one life enough to know Kung Fu? In Sifu, we wanted players to experience training and self-improvement.
Okay.
To convey that, we've made death part of the journey. Through the use of an ancient pendant, players have the opportunity to rise up through death, but it comes at a cost. Each time you get back up, you will age. When encountering a challenging situation, it allows players to try again and to adapt and learn. Death is the opportunity for players to spend their experience points on skills and unlock new ways of tackling their opposition.
Are you guys getting sound on your end?
While that may give you a sense of invulnerability at first, it won't last. The more you die, the faster you'll age. Your life energy is limited, and you will pay for each mistake.
Yeah.
Past a certain
age,
this is what's your pendant will not save you anymore.
That's dope, though, because it makes you want to die so you can level up your character, but then you don't want to die because
a useful tool
you get,
that will outlast your demise.
Right. Yeah.
The detective board.
But also, I was watching, like you die, you level up, but you also get older. So, like, you may have more skill, but your attacks don't hit as hard.
And then your quest.
Obviously, there's a certain point where you don't resurrect anymore. I think once you get to your 70s, like that's it.
Achieve your event.
And it's, I don't remember, it's very roguelike. I think you start back at a specific age. So you don't like start back at the beginning, but it's like whatever age that you had your best run at that, start that particular level. So if you start off at 20 and you end up at 40, you have your best run, but you end up down at level of 70, then you start back at 40, not at 20, at least based on some of the things I was watching. That whole system was really different and innovative as far as continues and really, upping your skills and trying to balance that. So I think that's that alone is very interesting. The combat looks amazing, and when I've been reading and watching, it's cool to master, but it's a difficult game. And one that really requires a lot of skill. So it's a lot of going back, redoing levels, learning them, learning characters, movements. So like I said, if it looks like a really good game, if that's your sort of game, then it's definitely right up your alley. And I mean, it's you, Brian, but anybody who's watching, I'm pretty sure a lot of people watching it's like, that game looks awesome. And it does look awesome.
It does. And then, I wonder what's the price on that? I mean, they gonna hit me.
It's probably
the head with a full.
It's probably full price. It's Sony.
Right. Because that's a very interesting game. I like games that come with a different, something new. And I've never, it's $50. Let me see.
Okay, it's 50. Is that PS4 or PS5 version?
Both.
Okay. Oh, surprising.
And then what is Hubble? What the hell is that? Humble Bumble? What the fuck is that? Anyway.
They're a games publisher.
Oh, okay. So it looked like you can get it online from Humble Bumble for $40.
Okay.
And
is that PC version?
Yeah. And then the console versions are $50. Which
because
that's not bad. Okay.
Yeah, and from what I was watching earlier today, it's 5 levels, so it's not a extra long game, but because of the continuous playthroughs, it definitely adds on to playing the game over and over again. So even though it's only 5 levels.
Okay. That's a very, very interesting mechanic, because on one hand, you want to die so that you can utilize your skill points. But then on the other hand, you don't want to die because the older you get, the harder it is to play the game. So
Right.
I don't know. I like
Yeah, it's
challenges.
interesting.
Yeah, I might have to check that out.
Yeah, that's cool. And next up, we have OlliOlli World, and that is for all consoles. It's probably on PC as well, but it's definitely on PS4, 5, Xbox One, S, X, and Switch.
All right. And share screen. Here we go.
Somewhere far across the OlliOlli world is Radlandia, a nation where the beaches, trees, and rocks you ride across were forged by the skate gods themselves. Of course they're real. Almost everyone agrees. Some say they even created the third dimension so that we could have more opportunities to explore as we seek Nirvana. In fact, Chiffon, the skate wizard, actually talks to the gods, and she's traveling the land with her crew
Yeah, that looks
to
cool.
train her
I like
successor,
different types of skateboarding
you.
games.
So as you go from beautiful Sunshine Valley, through the forests, across the desert, and into picturesque Sketchside, Suze, just roll that back a second. Whoa. Hello.
What's that?
Ghost trees, zombies, all these aliens?
Zombies.
There's some weird stuff in Radlandia. Just ask Mike. The only thing that hypes him more than a good mystery is a gnarly trick. Whoop-ah! And as anyone who's been skating for a while will tell you, if you want to wall ride, grind, or slide across moving obstacles, you'll inevitably hit a bunch of stuff or bounce off some things you were supposed to smash through. But that's okay. Just get Chiffon to teleport you
The
back
animation
with her
style reminds
skate
me of
wizard
Adventure
powers. And go again.
Yes. See that?
That's the spirit. Make Dad proud. Dad! This caring father figure will help you skate in style. Whether you dress like that,
Oh, this game has a
or
real good
this.
sense of humor.
riding on that,
And this is just a trailer.
with that haircut, or wearing those. While traveling across Radlandia and meeting its people may be
customization is
reward
good.
enough, what will you find if you do reach Nirvana? They say it's where champions compete to find the perfect flow, challenging each other's skills and ascending the ranks to be crowned the gnarliest and win rewards. You'll also be able to summon forth new tracks to ride that you can save and share using a postcode, regardless of what platform you're on. A near endless array
Yeah, that's
of
pretty cool.
jumpy, grindy madness. So don't delay. Come shred by the sea, chase a bee, meet a tree, take a trip to Radlandia and achieve Nirvana. Oh, bonus items.
Yeah, I don't remember who's putting this out, but I've seen a lot of advertisement for this one online. So they're really putting a big push behind it. And even just, I mean, it's on all platforms, but it looks like it'd be really cool to play on the Switch.
Yeah. I feel like it's built for Switch.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it now. What we talking about? $30 for place. Oh, $45. Oh, that's the Rad edition. Oh, they got Rad edition. Okay.
Wait a minute, how much is it?
Says PlayStation is $30. But then they have, like, you know, those special bundle editions or whatever and things like that.
I only deal with base price. That's all I care about.
Oh,
But that's I'm impressed. That looks like a pretty sweet deal for $30.
Yeah. So let me see what we got for Switch. Yeah, $30 across the board.
Probably 30. Yeah.
Mhm.
That sounds like a pretty good deal. Looks like a really fun game.
Yeah, it's something I could definitely play on the road.
Yeah, definitely. So next up we have Crossfire X.
Military planes. Anytime the game start with military planes.
Always.
That name.
It looks cool.
People might have complained about those. I need to see gameplay on that. The trailer is nice though. I like the trailer.
Yeah, it looks nice.
Mm-hmm.
And last but not least, we have Edge of Eternity.
What's happening?
I beseech you.
No questions. We have to go.
Like, it looks fantastic. And like I said, the battle system doesn't look too jarring for somebody who's not in the tactics game, which is what makes me really interested in it.
I will find a cure for the corrosion.
Look out! He's
Right.
I'd start running if I were you.
I'll show you how it's done.
I mean, it just looks beautiful.
Yes. Yes, it reminds me of Fire Emblem.
Activate.
One of my favorite titles.
Not in a good
time. If this is Fire Emblem with Final Fantasy shading over it, you know.
Hey, that sounds like a pretty decent combination.
Yeah.
30年前、金属でできた奇妙な飛行船がこの地に飛来した。
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah, it looks. They do have kind of a Final Fantasy vibe going on too.
Definitely.
So it looks cool. I'm definitely going to check it out when it comes out this week. Well, I'll check it out since it's on Game Pass. I probably won't hit to it this week because I'll be playing Backbone to get my impressions for my show.
Right. Yeah, let me see. Edge of Eternity. Oh, is this based on a movie? Let me see.
It is.
They have a movie of the same name. I don't know if there's any correlation.
It's Japan. It's probably an anime and something, or based on a manga, or it might be a series for all we know.
Yeah.
So I gotta do more research on it. But it looks really cool. You're definitely in the RPGs, tactical RPGs, JRPGs. It definitely looks like something that's gonna be up your alley, especially me myself. If I'm getting into RPG, especially JRPG, I'm very leaning toward the turn-based systems and not so much toward the action systems that they're bringing on. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
I just like the I guess the tactility or the tacticalness of the turn-based compared to the actions. I like a little bit of a slower battle. So this looks like something I'll definitely could get into.
Right. I'm no, not the same way because I like both, but I do like the turn-based when it has, well, not when it has, but because you have to be like strategic in the way that you play it with that kind of gameplay. Like I tend to like these. So I don't know. This is $40 is what I'm looking at as far as
goodness gracious
price. this might be something I pick up, man.
Yeah,
I like these kind of
that's
games. Maybe later for Switch so I could take it with me on the go. Is that steep for you?
that's good. That's a good price.
Okay, yeah. I feel
I'm
like
surprised.
me too. This is I've never said $40 for a new game this many times. Like what they
Right. Exactly.
they really coming with these games that are like fairly priced and they seem to have a good storyline. Now I wonder, right? Because normally we just talked about this with Sifu. That's $40, but it's only 5 levels. I wonder how long.
Yeah, but that's
this
an indie
is, how
game
many
too.
hours. Okay, that's true.
I don't know. It's a good question.
I wonder how many
Yeah,
hours
it'll be interesting to see.
I don't know. I think I like that one. I like that one.
Yeah, that looks really cool. I gotta look that up on Xbox to see what it's going for. At the regular price.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have it as coming soon yet on Game Pass, but it definitely looks like something I'll definitely sink my teeth into when I get a chance to play something else.
Right.
And those are all of our trailers. Brian, what do you have coming up this week?
This week, Talk+Play blurred. Where we at? Oh yeah, yes, the blerdcast. Another episode dropping. Doing TV this week. I was supposed to do it last week, but I was like, wait, because we had a season finale for Power Book 2 and then season premiere for Power Book 4. So I wanted to cover those. So I'm gonna be talking TV this week on the podcast. And then season 12 for Apex just dropped a few hours ago. I'm about to spend the rest of my awaking hours this evening trying to play through that. There's a new 9v9 game mode that they just added to it for a limited run, quote unquote. So I'm looking to see how I fare against the other legends that play the game. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this week.
Sounds cool. And I will be dropping a new episode of the Sartorian Geek podcast by WebsterStyle, probably the same day this comes out on YouTube, Friday, the 11th of February. I'm going to be talking about Backbone and the download. Also going to be giving my review of Shenmue, the animation. Quick note, it was good. Also, a little bit of long box, talking about some old school classic 90s Xbox. And of course, I'll be talking about the fragrance of the week. In this case, it'll be Renaissance Man by the House of Chris Collins.
Hey.
Well. And this has been, this has been another episode of the NRW Checkpoint. Feel free to follow us on Twitter at the NRW. Follow us on Instagram at New Release Wednesday. And if you have not already, make sure you click that notification bell. You subscribe as well, because if you don't know by now, New Release Wednesday, NRW, we have content coming rapid fire all day, every day.
Plenty of content for you, for y'all who like TV, movies, video games, whatever. Like, we're here for you. Nerds with a roar.
Exactly. So thank you guys, and we are signing off. See you next week.